welcome to Common Crawford and the Jersey Guy. I'm Lewis, here with Kenny, and with Tom, the Jersey Guy. You guys all know him.
Jersey Guy.
You guys.
Too funny. So what's up,
It's all
gentlemen?
good, man.
Everybody good? Everybody chilling? Everybody groovy?
It's good.
Yeah.
Groovy, man. Groovy?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you one with your consciousness?
Yeah, are you?
I am. Are you, Tom?
What is consciousness?
Yes. Look, you gotta wait for him to answer. You didn't give me a chance to answer. Are you good with your consciousness?
I don't know.
I don't know. What day is it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, consciousness. I could say a lot about that.
So if you guys didn't notice already, that's going to be our topic today. So we'll do this. The Oxford Living Dictionary defines consciousness as the state of being aware and responsive to one's surroundings, a person's awareness or perception of something, and the fact of awareness by the mind of itself and the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
But when you think about consciousness, isn't it kind of who we are? We are our consciousness. That is who we are.
Right.
Exactly.
We're not our
Yeah.
brain.
We're our consciousness.
We're our consciousness.
Consciousness.
Right.
There it is. Yep.
That is
Because we're in control.
Right. So dig it.
We should
So-
be anyway.
5 levels of consciousness,
Oh, snap.
right? Primal, reactive, willful, intellectual, and intuitive.
Okay.
So let's say the first one was primal. So primal would be like when you're if you're walking somewhere, you can't see, but you feel like something's not right.
Right.
You're not
You get a
sure
gut
what
feeling.
it is. You have that gut feeling. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's a good. I didn't even think about gut feeling,
Absolutely.
but that was that. That's the primal. I'm gonna assume
That's your instincts
the
kicking in.
Right. That's the defensive mode.
Right.
Your primal, like
Right. About to break out some karate. Get on your ass.
hell yeah, Barney Fife like that. Just got to do the Barney Fife. Yeah. Have you had that? Do you have those?
What?
Like
When
you
I
just have
something
that
don't feel
primal?
right? Oh, yeah.
Well, now here it is that we're older, so it's not like we're kids anymore that we're hanging out in places we're not
I
supposed
had
to
it when
be.
I was younger too, though.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Did you have it more when
talking
you were
like precognition?
No.
No.
More in the
No.
sense that you're someplace, it just does not feel right here.
Right. So
you're
Something
talking about
is
intuition.
off.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
it's an intuition. It's just that gut
And you
feeling
just
that
go with
something's
it,
not
and you're like, you know
copacetic.
what? I think I'm going to go.
I'm not feeling. Then you come back and find out, and it's not so much a premonition, but later on, well, depending on who you speak to, I guess. That
You didn't
then it turned
ignore
into- Yeah, you didn't. You didn't ignore it, and you left whatever place, function, party, whatever, and come to find out that some crazy shit happened,
Or didn't go.
or didn't go, or that you turn around and they say like you left early to go somewhere, and 5 minutes behind you, a truck crashed, so there was a big accident on the highway. Matter of fact, I'll give you one. So my little side gig is like, you guys know, I do a 2:00 in the morning run to for the job, and on the way I didn't stop off. I went a different way, and it didn't take that long to stop. And as I come back down, as I'm coming back home, there was a truck that was pulling, it was a car carrier, and a car fell off of the trailer and jumped the median into oncoming traffic.
Right.
If I would have stopped, I'm like, I'm going to go this way. I don't feel like going that way. I went the other way. It got me there a little bit quicker when I came
And then
back
something
down.
happened.
Yeah. So
think-
is that primal? Is that,
No, I think it is. I think that's instinct.
that's a consciousness.
I
It's an
something said,
instinct.
you know what? I'm going to go this way tonight because I always go that way.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was made you,
Go the other
at
way.
least the way I look at it.
So
I'm
what are you
saying
looking
there's
at it?
something to it.
Right. Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
Oh, yeah,
What are
absolutely.
you calling it, though? Are you calling it like, is it
Like intuition.
It is?
Like,
Okay.
Not intuition, like there's like a psychic kind of thing going on.
right?
Well, listen,
Okay.
you
okay.
can look at
I
animals.
think we're all in touch with it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of. I know I'm gonna start going a little far out there in the conversation with some people, but I think that everyone does have, on a sense, a psychic ability. I think there's more to our consciousness than we think there is. In fact, we were talking earlier. I was saying we should check out. There's a really cool podcast to check out called the Telepathy Tapes.
Right.
Really interesting stuff.
Okay.
I mean, mind-blowing stuff that like sounds like out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually real. And like it's like insane stuff.
I have to
like,
check that
people
out.
with, like,
Yeah.
it follows these I'm sorry. We'll get back to the conversation. But these they're non-speaking autistic people that use like a speller board or something to communicate.
Right.
And like they're reading their parents' minds and stuff like that.
Shut
crazy.
up.
Like there's what.
So that's a whole different level
There's
of
like holds up like
blowing your
zero
mind.
cards and like behind the kid's head, and like he's learned to talk, one of them, and he would be like,
Ball.
Yeah, or like 13 or whatever, or 7.
Whatever she was
Right.
holding. Yeah, see, that's freaking
Or it
awesome.
might have been on a spelling board or one of those touch things. But I forget. But
crazy.
yeah, there's like...
Yeah. But then you said that's a level of consciousness. What were you going to say, Lou?
Also, they talk about even dogs. Oh, sorry.
Well, I'm saying,
Yeah.
well, what I was going to say about was, look, the way I look at it real quick, hold that thought,
Yeah.
is animals. When you look at animals, you ever see when they like watch animals and they're in the wilderness and all of a sudden they just
Yeah,
Just
why
jump-
do...
they already they
Why
like
do
they
all
know something. They
birds
like
look at once?
turn their head and they look in an area and you're pretty much what they know. Or
Right.
you didn't make any noise. They just picked it up. They knew something was there.
Why do all birds move at the same time? You think that they're...
That's crazy when that happens. So not all the time.
not-
Sometimes they, but when they're all together, they all move
Yeah, and
in
they
a
do it in a
rhythm.
flock.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
there's
Well, hang out.
some kind
That's
of-
the yin yang. But
But
go ahead.
here's the other thing, though. So,
No, go ahead. Finish it up.
So that they talk about some of the stuff with dogs, and like they did this experiment. They talk about some of the experiment that had done in the past, where like people had these dogs, right, and they had the cameras on them, like dog cameras or whatever. And as soon as their like the owner would like, or their companion would human companion would leave work, the dog will perk up and start like waiting at the door for them.
Right.
And if they got called back to work, the dog would go lay down. The second they would leave for work, the dog would get up and
No shit.
Yeah.
they think there's a psychic connection that people are having.
I could
with-
believe that.
It's true.
or a
Because
telepathic
Tanya says
connection. Yeah.
when it's a certain time of the day,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know what time it is,
Right.
right? But they know, for whatever reason, it gets to a certain point. She says they were already getting antsy. Like I'll be talking on her or texting her or whatever.
I
She say
guarantee it's as soon as you start leaving.
they already know that you're on your way home. Like
Your
so
intention of going home.
Yeah,
Once your mind is like in the intention of going home, that's
they know. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Consciousness. So let me
ahead.
read this
No, no,
real
go
quick.
ahead.
Consciousness appears to be closely tied
Yeah.
to the brain's activity, particularly in the cerebral cortex and the thalamus. Specific brain states, like those during wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep, show measurable differences in neural activity. Neural networks, particularly in this default mode network, DMN, seem to play a role in the self-referential thought. It's pretty cool. And then there's levels of consciousness, like you were saying, theories of consciousness. There's let's see, theories of consciousness. Let's say integrated information theory proposes the consciousness depends on the amount of information integrated by a system.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Does that?
Yeah. So again, it's how much information you're getting to think, know, be aware of those surroundings. So, example for me, to be aware of your surroundings. I know for me, growing up in the city, there was a certain amount of awareness that I had taking the subway late at night.
You knew not to
walking
stand
through
near the freaking platform.
You know,
at the end of the platform.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like you knew to stand a certain way, to hold on a certain way, to do certain things when
You had your eyes on everything
right.
else.
Said you had your head on a swivel. And again, is that what we said before, the for just knowing,
Telepathy or precognition?
like a precognition, I guess. That just to have that idea, that
I think
thought,
it's just
that feeling.
your instincts coming naturally and without you having to try to force it or anything. But hang on, let me read this real quick. Predictive processing suggests consciousness involves the brain creating and updating predictions about the environment.
Right.
And here we go. Artificial and non-human consciousness. Animals and artificial systems exhibit behaviors that hint at varying degrees of consciousness, challenging us to define it more clearly.
Yeah.
It's interesting stuff, man.
Yeah.
So they definitely know there's something going on there.
Right.
There's definitely something more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. When you think about the stuff like people who have near-death experiences, that has to do with some point, consciousness to some point, right? Your body left, you left your body. You're now,
I think that's why some people who've had near-death experiences are like now mediums. That's actually, there's someone I follow on Instagram that I know.
Put him on
the
ours.
vegan community, yeah. But that is a medium, and she had like a near-death experience, and
Really?
she's like a medium. So I think that it has something to do with your like consciousness leaving your body, or your soul, or soul. Whatever
This is
you
just
wanna
a
call it.
vessel for now, for this,
soul, whatever you want to.
till the next step, right? That's how I look at it.
Right.
There's another. If you think that
I have my own beliefs, but yeah,
I believe there's something after this. It has nothing to do with, for me, for ideology or anything like that.
Right.
As far as, what I think,
Right.
it's the next level. You're
think
done. This is a vessel. When time is done, you go on to the next step. And whatever that is,
Right.
I think
we'll figure that out when we get there.
Existed before our life, in our life, and after our life.
Say that again?
Our consciousness. I think. My personal belief is that I'm obviously I'm not an atheist anymore.
Yeah. Oh, you're not?
If I believe in that, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I think our consciousnly existed before where we are now in the material world, and then we die, and then it goes out of it again wherever we were before.
Right. So there was a movie.
So not like
That's
not
interesting.
like our life started when we were born. Like
Right.
life's
maybe
right. We existed.
So you're saying that we may have had more than one life.
Yeah,
That's
like
what you're saying.
reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
But if we want to,
right.
No, we
So
don't
you
have
think
to.
it's up to us?
If you want to go back in,
Oh,
then
okay. So we have the power.
put me back in.
Okay. Yeah. Put me back in, coach.
This is the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
to experience life. You know?
Well, all right. So remember, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Cocoon. I know you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Right. So the movie Cocoon is, I guess it was like, I'll ruin it because nobody's going to really watch that shit anyways. But, at the end of the movie, when they died, it was that consciousness that
Left the
extra
body,
spirit
right.
that left the body and went into like a UFO. You know what I'm saying? Going by what you're saying, of before, during, and after. You know what I'm saying? So that they're a few hundred years old, and they might be going to the next planet to go to
That's
something
someone
else.
else's version of what they, they
Right.
think,
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has that version, right? When you think about it. So it's cool. There's definitely something there. It's, they're finding out more and more now because of technology and everything. They're able to do a lot of different things, as far as the consciousness,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, to find,
Listen,
like you said, it's
when I was a kid and I thought when someone passed away and I said, it can't be just 6 feet done,
Right.
you're out, and
Right.
then it's over. No, I'm like, that just didn't seem right to me. And then I would read books and I would, life after death and things like that and different other things. And then, of course, made me into the geek I am. So I like to listen to all that stuff when it comes to biblical or the Dead Sea Scrolls or anything like that, because it's interesting and it's educational because it gives you an idea of what people are at the
different
time. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
So I think that's that's where my head is at. It's definitely if it's part of the universe, right? Because that's what they say. We're connected to the universe, and they say that's where we came from. Our makeup is basically stars.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
So I mean, hey.
I mean, think about it.
Hello.
We all had that.
Right. Wouldn't it be nice though to make sure that when you got to wherever you were going, you knew who you were, and it wasn't like you started
the
over
thing.
again,
Right.
and then you didn't know, like you did it like 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
I
the
wanna
whole
remember.
thing. And again, it's funny you say that because
just doing a podcast.
I watch too much. Exactly, yeah, I do too many. I watch too many of those sci-fi shows, and that was the thing that the people they lived forever, and they were just kind of like reborn in different bodies.
Right.
And they were like, they
remembered who they were?
and shit. They ended up remembering later on. It
Okay.
wasn't like when they came to, when they were conscious.
They didn't know.
Like they didn't. They were like, what? Who am I? What am I doing? And they had to wait for those people to grow up. Most of the time they remembered when they were young.
Right. That's
and
weird.
then others was like, in their mid-teens and stuff. And then they remembered like, all right, cool, you got to come with us now. Like, all right, let's go. And they were fighting crime and shit. You know what I mean? Like they were spies kind of shit. It's one of those things. We do hear, remember, think, see things that reminds us of something that we may not have actually gone to and or done.
Deja vu.
And now it's deja vu because we were there before, in
happened
this
already?
particular life, or was it because we were there at another life? You know what I'm saying?
Remember when, I don't know if you remember this, but like this is like a superstition kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up, if I said to myself, "Oh, I just gotta chill," when was it someone stepped on your grave?
Somebody walked up your grave.
Somebody walked on your grave.
Yeah.
So
never
can you imagine
understood
that?
that
And
as
you're
a
like,
kid.
"Wow, yeah, that's
I never
pretty deep."
understood that. I was like,
So that means that I'm
dead.
is this already happened already, and we're just
Right. Exactly.
kind of cruising like another. I'm already dead, but this is just me catching up or whatever, or
Is that
Yeah.
on another
or it's a
timeline?
repeat, like a repeat of whatever I'm doing.
Or did
Yeah.
someone step on my grave and I'm dead in a different
timeline.
A different timeline, a dimension,
But,
right?
But that's the whole shit. So
Holy
then,
Christ.
I don't know if
Look
you know
at where
if you
this
said
is
that.
going,
I know,
right? It's
You
crazy.
fucking, that's the consciousness. But I don't know if I had said it to you guys that they say that with you when you're dreaming about the other spirits and the ghosts or what have you that you've come across and didn't know consciously that you came across them.
Yeah.
In your subconscious, you saw them. So then, or that it's people from another universe. Go ahead.
Okay, so what is consciousness exactly? We still lack definite explanation for the consciousness and why subjective experiences exist.
Mm-hmm.
Known as the hard problem of consciousness, the issue explores how brain processes results in inner experiences. So, how does consciousness arise? It's like there's so much to it, man. It's like it's not one,
Right.
you know.
Because we don't know. We're all on assumption. Right now,
We're definitely
talking about,
getting, but see, they definitely have more information about it.
But here's
this
the thing, though,
consciousness
too.
exists outside the brain.
But it's a
That's what
hypothesis.
we're saying. We're saying that it does.
But it's a hypothesis.
Hypothesis,
you feel me?
my ass.
Because this guy. Because think about it. It's what exactly is it? How are we actually dealing with it? Is it, like we said, is it because we lived another life? If we are reincarnated, from anywhere and or somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And how many movies haven't we seen that? It's
I'm not going to go by a movie. I'm
Well, no,
just
but
somebody
what I'm
else's
saying.
view of what they
Right.
think.
But then my point is that when we listen to a lot of these things or we read them,
Right.
we take up from it what we want and what we're going to believe.
Right.
So
I get
that's
that.
why I say the
But I'm
movies
reading
because
but I'm reading off of something that didn't come
what's it
necessarily
from?
from a movie. It's from ChatGPT. I'm
right.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
putting
yeah.
in
Oh, I thought you
questions
would've
and
got
asking
something
it, and I'm
else.
trying to find out.
Yeah.
So let's just for instance, right?
ChatGPT.
Some argue for non-materialistic views such as consciousness being fundamental to the universe. Others debate whatever consciousness could exist independently of biological substrate as an AI or quantum theories. Why are we conscious? From an evolutionary standpoint, it's unclear why subjective experiences involve as opposed to merely automated unconsciousness processing. So in other words,
Right.
you're already programmed to do that kind of thing.
Yep.
What do you think?
That would be, depending on how I hear
I think it's outside the body. I
it.
definitely
Right. Yeah.
for sure. I definitely think it's bigger than that. I think we're all connected in some way or another. I think if we were less dependent on a lot of things that we have,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'd probably be more in tune with a lot of that stuff versus how we are because of technology and job and family. And, you're not really, you got a lot going on.
Well, when we
So,
listen
but you do if you're in tune with that stuff, you kind of have those moments.
But then what about when they speak on what humanity was before TV and social media and all that other stuff? I don't ever remember hearing anything about people being that kind of in tune with one another. Other than anything super different than what we do now. So like, I know that when we're painting a room together that, you're going to cut in and I know where you are and we never bump into each other and we get the room painted.
Okay.
I know that if we're going to go driving that, you're following me or whatever, that, we're both going to get on the highway and we're going to, kick it up to 70, 75. And then, you're turning off and I'm going straight, but like we just dip through traffic at, right together.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? It's the point is that, there's different, I guess
happens.
links. Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah, but
That's all right,
different links to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And this is us on social media. So then, if somebody was part of a tribe or a village or whatever, did they feel each other when they were outside hunting?
Yeah.
You know, there's trouble coming.
Listen, don't you get that crazy when your instincts kick in? We were just saying it earlier. I think that has something to do with it. You know, you're not just doing it. You feel something.
I think it's precognition.
Yeah, you feel something. Something's
I
not
really
right.
do. I really think
Something's off in the air. It could be whatever it is. Whatever triggers it or whatever, your instincts kick right. Hopefully your instincts don't kick in too late and you're out of there or whatever's going on, you know, for whatever reason. But I definitely think you're right. We don't understand it exactly yet, but hopefully in time they'll be able to figure it out.
The problem is, and they talk about this in that Telepathy Tapes podcast, is that the scientific community is grounded in materialism, meaning like if you can't see or measure it, it doesn't exist. Even though that you're having these children who are the nonverbal autistic kids who have 100
they might
accuracy on their telepathy, 100%. Not once are they inaccurate.
Well, they might think it's like a parlor trick of some sort. You know?
Yeah,
that's what they're thinking.
Yeah,
But depending on who you ask, people with autism are more in tune with that
because their instincts are kicked in higher for other things.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Probably also because they don't have a lot of control over their bodies or their
Well, is it that or is it because they are? See, I wouldn't say that because they don't have control of their bodies so much. I would say more along the lines of they're at a different level.
Listen, you can't control the physical.
No, I mean they can't control their they can't talk.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
You know they can't. No. And because of that, maybe they're more. They automatically become more in tune with it because the need for communication.
Right. See, now the word we used to use would be like a savant. Now, from what I understand, recently savant is supposed to be like a bad word now. But
they mentioned that in that podcast. What people traditionally think of savant. They say,
and that they're like on a genius level, you know. And that goes back to when I think we and I were talking about it. Well, it might have been all three of us, but that we were talking about when people, you know, get into a bad have some kind of really bad or super head trauma, that it could change who they are, you know, and
they can't remember anything.
They can't remember stuff. Others turn around now, they know how to play the piano, they can paint, you know, amazing artwork and such.
So what about the fact that, all right, so for instance, I was with somebody, I was getting a training, and this gentleman who was giving us the training was saying that autistic people are very high, they're in tune. They may not seem it to us from the outside because of how it affects them. But for instance, they know that you pulled up in the car already. They can already feel basically how you're going to be. They can feel you when you're walking in the house. And by your energy alone, if you're not comfortable, you're afraid, whatever it might be, they will react to that.
Who's this?
People who are highly autistic.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, they can act out.
Ability.
Right.
You're
they can act out.
I know people. I'm friends with people who do have psychic abilities. And
so they can feel your vibe when you're going in. That's what I'm saying. So if you're carrying it and they can pick up on that,
that's how they are.
what were you going to just say?
No, I was just saying, I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's how they are.
Yep, you were going to say something
the same way. You know, they could feel, you know, stuff. Like some people will use the term like empath or whatever. But yeah, that's
they see things differently. Their brain picks it up. You know, there's all kinds of stuff, you know, for whatever reason. You know, how about America's Got Talent, right?
Right.
They had that one kid come on. I believe his mom brought him out to the piano. He had autism, and his voice was phenomenal, and he was playing piano.
Right.
He won it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He sounded beautiful. He was amazing. You couldn't believe, like, you know, you could see the struggle he was having because he was blind and he was autistic. And when he sat down at the piano and he started singing, it was like
it disappeared.
No worries, no nothing.
Like it vanished. Like,
right.
Yeah. It was, and he sounded like
as if like all his difficulties
beautiful. He was just
exactly.
They say
great.
that happens with people with stutter too.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. We had said that last time we were together.
Mel Tillis,
Mel Tillis was the a country singer, and he'd be on TV. He was a comedic actor, if you will, and he would literally be up there. Now
someone else,
say something else,
right?
Who?
No, I'm saying he was the kind that he even though it was a struggle for him, he used it for his
comedy,
right? For his power.
And then you would turn around and you put that man in front of the mic and with some music in the background.
Unbelievable.
Yo, like an angel, bro. His voice was insane, and you know
he was great for country.
I think it's different because music is scripted. So because the stutter has to do with, I think, the way your thought and voice transfer.
Okay.
So like as where like when you're singing something, it's already scripted, so you don't.
Maybe.
I think that's what.
Well, I don't know because when he was doing
there's
his
a little bit
acting,
more to that.
I'm only saying, questioning that because he was an actor.
Yeah.
So when he would act, he's reading scripted lines, and he still stuttered through his stuff. Yeah.
He struggled to get through it, but if he sang them, he'd be fine.
Yeah. And he did that one time too.
Or maybe your brain
he was in the cannonballs.
Something different when you're singing.
Right, but he did that.
Than your normal thought.
Well,
process,
he did that when in an interview.
Yeah.
So they said, "Well, do you stutter? Since you don't stutter when you sing, could you answer this singing?" It was on Johnny Carson.
Okay.
And he said, "I'll try." And he turned around, bro. And
he was great, though.
Yeah, and he did it.
was
and
great.
They played music, and he sang the answers to the question that Johnny was asking him, and he didn't stutter.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So it was one of those things, you know, like
so. We're all at that a certain level, but I think if if you have the basic instincts and you just go with them, usually 9 times out of 10. Look, I remember when I was younger, I would go with a head decision, and I would overanalyze it, and it's the right thing, blah blah, whatever it was, and it wound up being the wrong fucking thing. It never worked out. But when I went with my gut, how I felt, and how it was. That's what I need. How it felt to me, what I thought of it, not in my head, but everything involved, not just that. Then usually 9 times out of 10, I made the right choice.
Yeah,
I did the right thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's wild, bro. But I see, like, I even believe
you're definitely tapping into something.
Oh well, definitely. Like, I feel like the more we do these, do the podcasts and stuff, and the more we're together. It's like certain things that we'll say, yo, Tom will get a kick out of this. Lou will bug out with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's maybe just for me, because, it's just me, but I feel like there's things that, we're that kind of connected now. I said, my brothers all over the place, all my other friends, my brothers, when I'm, thinking about other shit and, whatever, it's the same thing. Like, oh yeah, I felt like you over there. I was thinking about you.
Right.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, that happens to me and Frankie a little time. I'll think about him or something if I'm driving home or I'm for some reason or whatever, and then I'll get a call that night.
Right. Yeah.
It's the weirdest fucking thing. It's like, I was just thinking about this guy. He was just calling me. Or vice versa. He tells me the same thing, whatever. It's like Awa from what's the movie?
Avatar. Yeah.
Right? It's a being. It's a consciousness that they tapped into. So we're definitely tapped into something. But it's...
Definitely, which means that, like, there's so many different theories. Some people believe,
oh God, there's so much.
Brains are like antennas, but I don't. I think if anything, it's antennas to another dimension, and that's how they're like.
Yeah,
because the other thing is too, like I said, like some people have the ability to like speak to like dead people, and that's why my theory is that like our consciousness exists in the same place that dead people live.
Right. I get you.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
okay. But now here's a question though: is it because
and that's why we can transfer? Some people can use that telepathically.
So do you think that us as the human race that we were able to? That we knew that we could see dead people.
The Matrix.
Listen.
Well, no. Let's
when we were more primal, when we were more less dependent on.
We were more primal, I guess, that when we were doing whatever.
They
so
definitely
our ancestors were able to see the dead people, that they were able to.
They relied on their instincts as well, too. I mean,
I'm going by what Tom was saying.
I got
what he's saying. And, like, that they were able to actually see and deal and speak.
Well, the American Indian is a big.
It was like the Force. Like when,
American Indians were big in that. Right? They believe in afterlife and reincarnation.
But I'm saying it more like we said with Star Wars, that, after Yoda died, he was able to sit there and talk to Luke Skywalker.
Oh, he would come back and say, hey, what's going on?
And do things like that.
Like this glow I got going on?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's like, yo, you could be here too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just those things. Is it something more like that? And because of our quote unquote evolution, and to what we are as a human race now, we've lost that.
Well, I don't think you lost it. I just don't think you're paying attention to it. It's because you're too preoccupied with other things going on in your life.
Touche, my good man.
Because think about it, at least the way I think about
that
it,
makes
'cause
sense.
We have, like I said earlier, we have so much going on and things that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we really don't make time for ourselves to really tap into
Right.
who we are, or you know what, you know. Like I've been listening to frequencies now. Like Cert 528 is like a sleep frequency.
Oh,
and there's other
have you?
frequencies.
Is it
you can
working
listen
for
to.
you?
I like listening to them. They're very relaxing, and it gets your mind, you know, going and getting off into a different direction.
Right,
and your
right.
mind, you know. So
Okay.
I definitely feel like that's a type of meditation. So that's part of consciousness too, isn't it?
was gonna be the question.
Being able to
Go
tap
ahead.
into that as well.
Right,
So
your third eye.
I like it. It's very good, and we've been using it to like fall asleep, and it's really been really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not that one of those ambient noises where you're like, all right, freaking shut it off already. I'm done with it.
Right.
You know, but you can actually leave it on all night. So that's a part of consciousness because when you're sleeping, right, you're in a different plane, right? You said that earlier about
Right.
dreams and stuff like that. American Indians are big on that, right?
Right.
Dreams and afterlife,
Right.
and you
Monks.
know they worshipped animals, even though
Right.
they were, you know, they were meat eaters and they did whatever they did. They used every part of the animal.
Right.
They built, you know, they cherished the animal in that sense, you know, where of course it wasn't that way when, you know, the white
Right,
man
right,
came.
right,
They
right.
just killed it and
Yeah, that
took
was
his
it.
coat off, and that was it. So they were way beyond. I think they were tapped in already, and
That makes sense.
so yeah,
That makes
they were
sense.
good. They were good, and I think almost any culture, like India and you know
You said-
Buddhas,
Yeah, the Buddhists,
Right, you know, certain,
the,
you know,
the monks. I was
right.
just saying, so that then
Meditation.
you know, they do that. Now, here's my thing, though. They don't always speak on what they've gone through, seen, heard, felt when they're in their meditation. You know, like they give you a roundabout thing, but they don't tell you. So we don't even know if they've really tapped into that super consciousness where they're actually, you know, going on to different, you know,
What do they always
time
say? You
or
need to-
whatever planes.
you need to you have to basically train yourself.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
it's how hard is it? Think about it. When you go home, close your eyes, right? Try to focus on one thing and see how long it takes before your mind runs away and goes in a totally different direction from what you actually started off at. That's discipline, right? When you have to keep doing
Right.
it. That, I guess that's how the meditation works, by doing it and doing
Right.
it and doing it.
Yes.
And then getting to a point where you're more in control rather than your brain or your mind taking off.
Because
of it,
when I was a
right?
kid, I was able to, as funny as it sounds, and people that know me that are listening don't make no funnies, but you know, I was able to do that, to get to that calm, relax, peace thing, and you know,
That's what I like about these frequencies, and you can
Mm-hmm.
find a lot of them online. You know, whether it's YouTube or whatever, you can, you know, they're really good. I think even when you ask Alexa, she'll play it for you.
you do it off your phone or you do
No,
it
I do it off the
speaker?
Alexa.
Okay.
I ask her, and she goes, you know, play me a sleep frequency, and then she'll put on the thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
it just plays through the night. It's different versions or sounds of the way it's done. It's almost like music in a sense. It's weird, but it's very soothing, relaxing.
Really?
And you know, like for me, there's one ambient noise that I like. There's one that has the whale song. Did you ever hear it? What? Tanya's like, I can't. She goes,
Yeah.
it's too creepy for me. I can't. Listen, I'm like, really? For me, it's a beautiful noise because you think you listen to a whale. A whale is majestic, right? And they're talking to one another and they're sending out these. They're just sending out these signals
Yeah.
or they're communicating. You know, it's great, man. So that's a good ambient noise, at least for me, anyway.
Yeah, no.
You know, I think that's one I.
Like
You
you
know,
can't listen to the water ones because then you end up peeing.
no, the water ones are good too. Or a fireplace one is a nice one too.
Fireplace.
I just like white traditional.
White traditional noise is
Like
good
the-
too.
Just white noise.
What is it, like?
Yeah.
Like the TV, like the
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
But
shit.
it's weird though because there's
different versions.
Yeah, well, there are different frequencies. There's white noise, brown noise, pink noise.
Yeah, I don't
There's-
understand all that
I don't,
shit.
I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's
You know
that's
what I mean?
insane to me.
But listen, they say the frequency is not only about just your mind, but it's also for your body as well. They say it's healing.
Well,
it gets
now
you
we
back
can-
in a certain thing.
oh,
Remember what I was telling you?
we'll
Wait,
talk about that.
hold
You
on
got
one
him
second.
nervous. You got him
Before
started.
hold that, but I got to
So
share
there
this.
you go.
So,
I'll tell you about that.
Matt,
shit.
you know how I always said I always say I see 851.
Yes,
So I looked it up as a frequency,
right.
and it helps.
Yeah, 851 is
It's one of the frequencies. It's a good frequency. It's very sharp. It's almost like almost like the noise that I have
tinnitus?
from my tinnitus.
That's
No
exactly
way.
what I was just going to talk
What?
about.
Yes.
I think I don't know if
851.
I'm pronouncing it right. It's called Solflego. It's like this. There's like these frequencies, and if you have your headphones on, it's supposed to like. There's one like that's called the God frequency. and
Yes.
there's all kinds of stuff.
That's
like
right.
that. If you meditate to it, it's supposed to really help. And I do sometimes meditate with those frequencies.
Really?
It's really good. You should check them out. You really should.
Yeah, I'm gonna have.
But you got those crazy headphones, something not at work, but like if you're home and you're just on the
Right.
couch instead of putting the TV on, just do like, you don't have to do a whole hour. You could do like 10 minutes of it, really. But just to get an idea what it sounds like and pick the one, you can look them up, right? You can find
Yeah,
which
some-
one
and
it
that's
is.
something I picked up in the last
Right.
couple of months and started
Yeah,
meditating.
I've been doing it more.
That
It's
really
funny
helps.
that you're doing it and I'm doing it as well because Tanya, that's really weird.
Yeah, say it.
So I believe that's a form of consciousness. I think
there it is.
I think that's a form of consciousness too, because we're tapping into frequencies that are helpful to us.
Yeah.
That's other than the physical,
Right.
someone touching, giving you a pill to
Right.
swallow or whatever.
Yes.
You're doing it naturally and you're tapping into things that's why I believe the things that I believe, because if that is something that can really do something for you, then absolutely. Your mind
That
is
makes sense. Like they say, like certain sounds, vibrations. There's sound vibrations and everything, and if you're on something that's not on that same tone as you, it could throw you off. Whether it's your equilibrium, whether it's your like one of the machines I work on, it vibrates, and that sounded really freaking crazy. But anyways, it vibrates, and if I lean on it while it's moving and the machine is running, it'll make me nauseous.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's also like that thing when you have the one window open in the front and one,
Right,
and you get that crazy tire thing, and I'm like, yo, you need to close that window. I'm going to puke.
People don't
Because it gets me
realize
sick.
It's like
Yeah.
sounds affect us,
Right.
like those
Yes.
frequencies.
Right.
It's
what were you gonna say?
I I got a question. How did you find out about it? ChatGPT,
I-
right?
Yes.
Same source. That's how I found out about it too.
I did.
ChatGPT's all steering us into.
But you know what?
off the cliff.
But I did kind of. But I did kind of know about it before that too. But when it went on, I was like, "Wow, this is cool."
Yeah.
But I love that shit, man. I'm a
Right,
geek
right,
when it
But
comes to
isn't
that.
it funny? We're both using ChatGPT
Yeah,
a lot,
see?
and it's both doing the same thing.
So the whole shit.
But
is
what's
that,
happening to positive stuff?
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Right,
It's just
but
interesting
again,
how-
it's like almost anything else.
The same source.
It's the beginning when you're starting to drink the Kool-Aid. Yo, this is really good Kool-Aid, and next thing you know, the Kool-Aid is fucking.
I'm just, I'm making
I'm
a
just
joke.
saying.
That's my dark humor, but
Yeah,
no,
no.
but no,
Yeah.
I mean like, it's interesting how we're both going in the same
Right.
direction.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
Tanya.
fucking
As soon as I
very
told Tanya, I said, "Hey, I said, no, don't do any ambient noise." I said, put on the sound frequency. And I asked Alexa, she put it 528. I think is the number. It's sleep frequency. It helps you sleep. She loves it.
Yeah.
2 nights in a
I
row.
gotta
She's like,
look
"Can you
that
put
up.
that on again?
I'm
Can you put that on?"
gonna
Yeah.
try that. Well, so you said what's
That's
the
probably
number?
better than white noise.
528.
maybe.
528 is not the. You
There's
said
so many
you said
different
it was
ones.
on the
The other,
851.
A51 is the one, but that's more of a sharper noise. But it goes to
There's another
other
one,
things
like
to help you.
873 or 893.
I'll look it up for you right
I'm
now.
gonna have to look to see, bro, because but you got to play it real quick too, because I want to see what it sounds like.
851 frequency.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, man.
Here it is,
So
look.
like for us,
851 frequency.
right?
Search for meditation tracks specifically. Hang on a second. Binary. I'm sorry. 851 as platforms like YouTube, Spotify. All right. Sit and lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and focus on the breathing while sort of telling you what to do.
Right.
Right. Set an intention. Or hang on a second. Sound therapies. What it was supposed to tell me. It was supposed to.
I think you're supposed to listen to it. This is it's basically giving instructions how to meditate.
Here's
Yeah.
some way you can use the 851 for high frequency wellness and all that as well. 851, I'm sorry. Awakening and intuition, cellular regeneration, spiritual enlightenment, chakra healing.
That's what I was.
Right.
I was doing the
So
same
these are the things that it does. I apologize, people, because I was looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, it has all that, and then of course it goes into all the other things. Binary beats, sound therapy instruments,
Well, see, I gotta
which we
play
talked
one.
about the bowls and the
see,
and
well,
the,
yeah, I want to
right?
do that, but
That's also
You know what? Suzanne and I went to a sound bath a couple weeks ago.
That's
awesome.
With that.
That-
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was
I wanna
like
try that.
We joked around. We're like, that was.
Do they
was an
use
expensive
lotion
nap.
when you're in there?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly,
we were
dude.
you just lay there. And
You got to play it.
they play those
Okay.
bowls and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh
see,
my
I
God, it
I
was
want to do
great.
that shit. So here's the thing. So like, wife and I, we go to sleep with the fan on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that's white noise.
And right, and for me, it's like I don't need it or whatever. I'm not sleeping any better with or without it. Same difference. but I would like to play something that's gonna relax her more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She needs something to relax through, and I think that having that in the background of
Right.
the white noise would probably be some kind of helpful because, dude, I need her. I just want her to relax better. if that
Right.
makes
So
any
she
sense.
doesn't. Right.
Right. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
work is
Here we
stressful
go.
as it is. So go ahead. Oh, it's that.
That's 851.
Yeah. See, for me, that sounds like when you didn't at the
But
end of the
they
night
say if
with
you
the
listen
TV.
to it, but if you listen to it,
I bet.
Right.
but when you listen to it, it's supposed to, like when you close your eyes and you just listen to the noise. It's supposed to do all the help
Really?
you with that. So that's what they say the frequency
So
does.
for me, that shit is kind of creepy.
Now wait, hang out. Now I'll play 528 for you though,
Right.
right? Now that's a totally different.
Right.
They're all different, right?
Right. Well, that
Back
one,
me up here, Tom.
No, you're right.
They
I gotta
are.
believe
They
you.
are. And,
Right.
But the cool. I was thinking
Just 528
YouTube
healing
ones are
frequency.
better, though, because some of the YouTube ones also have like meditative like music too.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit better than just that frequency.
Because
alone.
that other one,
would
that shit would creep me. I don't creep me out. Because well, that's the
There's
we're gonna
no-
put
you
the
gotta
oil.
advertise.
But see, because for me, listening to that, I think about So when it was the end of the night
remember.
and they played that, you know what I'm saying?
for that.
Yeah, right. So that then
you go.
and then it was like I watched it like during Creep Show or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
See, that sounds more like music.
listen.
That sounds like water
That's
to me.
what I've been. A lot of stuff. Like
Yeah, but
that.
it gets different tones and it goes at different levels, and it's you just
Yeah,
lay
that's-
back.
which one is that?
close
That's
your-
the kind of
528.
528.
That's the kind of stuff I use.
Yeah. See,
528 is a healing frequency. It could also be used for sleep. So different frequencies. So that's a different kind of frequency, and that's more of a soothing to where you want to relax
Yeah.
and focus in on just, easing the mind
Better with
and
headphones, but you don't necessarily need headphones. You can have that on
your phone or your
TV,
absolutely.
I don't know. I have to check
Sometimes
to see.
I'll I meditate in the living room. I'll turn the YouTube on and put that on the TV or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I never even thought of it.
Yeah,
You
I
could-
think
or
what
you
they
could play it right loud on the Alexa.
And I have it on the surround sound. Yeah, on the Alexa too.
The Alexa too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to do that. Not figure out a way, but like I said, I want to do something that doesn't sound because I can't have it sound like the tinnitus, and I can't have
No. Well, but this
the
different
music.
Just go on and look up frequencies on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah, no, definitely. That's what I said. I got to look into it.
And just look at each one and read what each one says, and then just listen to it, get a sample of it,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and then go from that, and then say, "Oh, I like that one. That one I like, so I'm gonna listen to that one." But they're not all like 851.
Oh, yeah, no,
851 happens to be. But the reason I brought up the 851 is because I always see that number, and I always try to figure out what else does it mean, or is there somebody or something trying to tell me something?
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, is there an 851 frequency? And then when I read what it said, it helps with. I'm like,
Did you
all
ever
right, that's crazy.
You ever deal with the numbers 851 in your life for anything?
Yeah, well, yeah.
No,
How often do you see it as much as I do? Because I see it all the time.
because for me, you saying 851 reminds me of some old phone numbers from back in the 80s.
Well, I had that's the other thing. My first phone number was 851.
Right.
All right, I know my whole number. I remember it. Okay, I don't want to say it because I don't know who else has that number now,
Has it now.
so I don't want to fuck them.
Yeah.
But yes, but that number's always been in my life. So
Right.
if it wasn't in my phone number, it's something that I saw or that it came up. It's not something. It starts for a long period of time. It happens, and I'll see it, and then boom, 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 it happens, and I'm like, okay. For some reason, that number pops up to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go play that number too. That and my old address in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, bro.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I do, but listen, going back to how we started with all that.
That's part of consciousness.
I do believe that is our consciousness.
This is a good
all
episode.
day long.
Yeah.
we kind of grew.
This
We
is a
could
good
go
episode.
longer.
I like this.
Yeah, we're just about done. We're gonna start saying our goodbyes.
Yeah.
But this is what it is. Our consciousness links us to each other. And I believe that those who we hold dearer, maybe, I guess. in
And
a
to the
sense,
universe.
yes, and to the universe, it's like anything else. You either practice it or you just go with what you have. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have to really practice anything if you just,
Or depending on how deep you want to go into your consciousness.
I'm not saying you want to be a Buddha and you want to go. I'm not saying that.
Right, that's where I'm going.
But
That's
for
what I'm
everyday thing, there's really not to practice in the sense that you're just adding something to help you later. Tonight I'm going to sleep. I'm going to put that on, or I'm going to just go sit for 10 minutes. I don't want to hear anything because I've been at work all day, so I need to distress. So you put one on for 10, 15 minutes. It's kind of like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd have to
if you
really
could kind of work that into your life a little bit,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be all the time. But when you need
Yeah.
it, you know it's there, so you just grab it.
Yeah, I would need to sit and listen, and pick different ones because
Right.
I cannot tell you, bro. There is certain things. I was listening to reggae music. I got this crazy mix, right? And when I tell you how heavy it made me feel, like sad, and these are all songs that I grew up with that I was at the club. Yes, I'm sorry. Dun, dun, dun. I'm like, yes, this
Right.
shit. And it made me feel so heavy, like
you
I couldn't
stopped.
function. I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
So then, like, I got to find the tones that's going to help me sleep at night. And then
check
you
that
got
out.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah. And
So
just to see
definitely
what's
look them
good.
up. There's stuff out there.
Yeah,
man,
I got
for
it.
sure.
I got it.
So-
But with that, appreciate everybody for listening. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out.
Namaste.
Namaste. Look at you. So you can change up. You can change your goodbyes.
Oh,
to
we're
that?
talking about consciousness, so I might as well,
Namaste. So that's not wrong.
So-
So love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
Go vegan.
Hello.